welcome to a new video. Recently, it was my birthday, a couple days ago actually, and I was blessed with a big Barnes & Noble haul. I can't even lift all this. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, I got 2 bags worth. I spent like $250. I had $160 saved up in rewards, which is awesome. And then I was gifted a $100 gift card for my birthday from to Barnes & Noble, and I spent all of it. It's all gone. There was literally like 8 cents left on the card. I used all my points. We're starting from scratch, and I am here today to show you what I got at Barnes & Noble for my big birthday bash out blowout haul. Okay, let's just get started right away. I don't remember everything that I got. I also just showered, so my hair is like still drying. Just starting right off the top. Okay, we got oh my god, just looking at these books makes me want to cry. So this is Binding 13, this is Keeping 13. These are both by Chloe Walsh. It's book 1 and 2 in the Boys of Tommen series. I read book 1 on Kindle Unlimited, and I do believe all the rest of the books are on Kindle Unlimited, but I needed to own them. I really want them on my bookshelves. I love the story so much of what's going on in here, and this is just the sequel to keep it going. The rest of the books in the series are about different boys from Tommen. Tommen, I don't remember, is Tommen the school that they go to, or is Tommen the town that they live in? I can't remember. There's a lot of damaged people in these books. There's a lot of finding love, finding true love, finding out that you deserve true love. It's honestly, like, this was just like not even the tip of the iceberg, okay? This is just the climb up to the iceberg, and I know that the second book is going to be just that much more impactful. It is much bigger. It's much bigger, probably like twice as big, I'd say. I was a little, I wouldn't say annoyed, I just wanted them all to match, and this is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, so the spines aren't gonna match because all the rest of them look like this book. But whatever, it's fine. Like, I'm gonna move on with my life because I wanted it and I bought it, and that's my own decision. So I decided to not match the series up, and I'm gonna be okay with that. It has these pretty orange sprayed edges and like cute little in cover things. I'm really excited to get into this because the first book ended at such a cliffhanger. So we have our 2 main characters. We've got Johnny Kavanagh and Shannon like the river. She is new to school. She has been bullied her whole life. Her father is her biggest and first bully as well. He's very abusive in the home, and our main character Shannon just takes care of the family. And Johnny Kavanagh, his whole life, is it rugby? I can't remember what sport it is that they play. Yes, rugby. It's been his whole life, but then suddenly Shannon shows up and just derails his whole life because suddenly she is now his whole life, and she is all he wants to think about, all he wants to talk about, all he wants to protect and hang out with. Like, rugby does not matter to him anymore now that Shannon's in the picture, and the protection that he needs to give her. Guys, the story is really good. I really love the author's voice. It's set in Ireland as well, and I just really appreciate that. It's really fun. The dialogue is great, and you can just hear the accents in your head as you're reading it. And it's just a really, really fun story. So the next one I had is Bright I Burn from Molly Aitken. I believe this is a witchy novel, a fierce, electrifying novel of power, patriarchy, and sexuality, inspired by the true story of the first woman in Ireland to be condemned as a witch. So another Irish novel. Okay, cool, so cute. So it looks like she takes over her father's business. She has a flair for making and turning money into more money, and then she gets accused of being a witch. And then we go from there, and it's called Bright I Burn, so they probably burn her at the end, sadly. I don't know. I'm excited to find out what goes on in that one. Next we have Girls with Long Shadows from Tennessee Hill. I love that name. I don't know if that's a pen name, but if you chose that name, whoever this author is, IRL, that's a great pen name to choose. An intoxicating Southern Gothic debut novel about identical triplets whose lives are devastated when their burgeoning desires turn deadly. So the triplets, they're just called Baby A, Baby B, and Baby C. Their mother passed away during the birth of them, so they've been brought up by their father, it looks like. Oh no, they're Graham. Okay, excuse me. So the fact that it's a Southern Gothic novel definitely intrigued me enough to buy it, but just listen to the way that this is written. 19 years later, the triplets work at Graham's crumbling golf course in Long Shadow, Texas, where the ever-watchful eyes of the town observe them serving up glasses of ice-cold lemonade to golfers, swimming in the murky waters of the neighboring bayou, or slipping t-shirts off their sunburnt shoulders in hopes of attracting the kind of attention they are only beginning to understand. So it's kind of a coming-of-age novel, and it looks like there's a lot of jealousy, there's a lot of intrigue between the triplets. Maybe there's like more to them that we're gonna find out as the novel goes along. I get the vibe that maybe one of them dies. I'm not for sure. It just really intrigued me. I had not heard about it before. It matches my outfit today, and yeah, that's the Girls with Long Shadows. The next hardback I got is This Raging Sea from D. Elizabeth. This was one of my most anticipated reads for the year. It's a bisexual love story. I think it has to do, I don't think it's a retelling. It's a YA story. It says 18-year-old Briar Winters must untangle the horrifying eldritch secrets of her picture-perfect coastal town in order to save the boy she loves after he disappears from time itself. Historic Lock Creek is a witchy New England tourist trap, but it's just a trap for Briar, who's convinced she'll die there among the waves that devoured her twin brother 13 years ago. But when her best friend Finn, who she's loved since childhood, vanishes from the seaside carnival, there's only one person who can help Briar find him: Morgan, her biggest enemy who knows her darkest secret. Dual POV, dark fantasy. Okay, it says equal parts bisexual romance and pulse-pounding horror. I hope it's good. I hope it's really good. I think that the cover is a little cheesy, like they look like 11-year-old kids, but I hope that I really enjoy it. The next hardback we have is Silver Cloak from L.K. Stephen. This cover has been intriguing me my whole life, and I love the spray edges. I love that blue. It's really pretty book. Oh, look at the map in front. Oh my god. Okay, I don't remember what it's about though. In this addictive new fantasy series set in a world where magic is fueled by pleasure and pain, an obsessive detective infiltrates a brutal gang of dark mages, knowing that one wrong move will get her killed. Her parents died, she's hellbent on revenge, she lies her way into Silver Cloak Academy, the training ground for her city's elite order of detectives, with a single goal: to bring the Blood Moons to justice. Her deception is exposed, and rather than being cast out, she's given a rare opportunity to go undercover and tear the Blood Moons down from inside. Cool. Okay, so her loyalties are tested. She finds that her web of lies are becoming harder to spin, and when one false step could destroy everything and everyone she's ever loved, the detective who's dedicated her life to vengeance just might die for it. What? Wait, she's gonna die? Ah, that's crazy. I love when they die in the end. That's kind of my favorite, one of my favorite ways to end a book, but it says it's a series, so I don't know about that. And then the final hardback that I got was my copy of Alchemized from Sen Lin Yu. I don't even know how to describe how I feel about this. I'm very conflicted. I will say I have gained a lot of knowledge that has me conflicted in the way that I feel about reading and promoting this book. I think that I'm just going to read it and enjoy it and not talk a lot about it. I kind of wanted to do a whole video on it. It's over 1,000 pages long. It is a traditionally published Hermione fanfiction. Manacled, if you've heard of one fanfiction, especially in the Harry Potter space, Manacled is probably the one that you've heard of, that and like the Young Marauders. But that fic destroyed the hell out of me. I think I finished it earlier this year, like this spring. I think I finally read it. It took me like 3 years to finally do it because I had to keep stopping because it was getting so depressing and hard to it was not hard to love. I loved every bit of Manacled. It was just hard to see these characters that I love so dearly go through something so traumatic and horrible. I think that the writing was very fun and very good for a fanfic. I don't even, fun is definitely not the right word, but I was very entertained while reading it. I definitely want to support the author. I can't lie about that, and I'm glad that I have this book in my arsenal. Like, it is part of my physical library now. I'm excited in seeing how she switches the book up, because she has to make it to where the story is not anywhere near the original source material, the original IP of the author of Harry Potter. I'm interested in just seeing how she does that. I think that the cover is gorgeous. I love how cracked it is. It's absolutely beautiful. And I also wonder how she deals with the violence that's in the original fanfic, like the assault that happens throughout the book. I kind of get the vibe that that's not gonna happen in this one. I feel like that's a part of the story that she took out, but I don't know that. I don't know that for real because I have not read Alchemized. I feel like the angst is gonna be there, but I feel like kind of the more torturous aspects of Manacled are not gonna be there. That's just the vibe that I'm getting, but we're gonna move on because the next book I got William from Mason. I can't see the last name on there. Let's see if we can find it in here. Mason Coyle. This really intrigued me. I'm just going to read this whole thing to you. So, Henry is a brilliant engineer who, after untold hours spent in his home lab, has achieved the breakthrough of his career. He's created an artificially intelligent consciousness. He calls the half-formed robot William. No one knows about William. Henry's agoraphobia keeps him inside the house, and his fixation on his project keeps him up in the attic, away from everyone, including his pregnant wife, Lily. When Lily's co-workers show up, wanting to finally meet Henry and see the new house, the smartest of smart homes, Henry decides to introduce them to William, and things go from strange to much worse. Soon, Henry and Lily discover the security upgrades intended to keep danger out of the house are even better at locking it in. That sounds so cool. So it's kind of a Frankenstein-esque novel. There's like this artificial intelligence intelligence robot in the house, and look at how freaking, that's scary. That literally, this cover took me, like grabbed me. It was like, you need to take me home. I need to come home with you. I'm absolutely terrified. I'm terrified of William. I'm really excited to be freaked out by that book, I will say. And then, so that was part of a buy one get one 50% off table that was at Barnes & Noble with other horror books. So this was the other one I picked up to get that 50% off. So this one is called Sacrificial Animals by Kaylee Penderson. This has won a lot of awards. It was named a Best Horror Book of 2024 by the New York Times, Vulture Esquire, Paste, and Barnes & Noble, a Best Gothic Fiction of 2024 by Crime Reads, a Best Book for Adults by the New York Public Library, and a Best Horror finalist for the Libby Book Awards. So it reads, the last thing Nick Morrow expected to receive was an invitation from his father to return home. When he left rural Nebraska behind, he believed he was leaving everything, including his abusive father, Carlisle, and the farm that loomed so large in memory there forever. But neither Nick nor his brother Joshua, disowned for marrying Amelia, a woman of Asian descent, can ignore such a summons from their father, who hopes for a deathbed reconciliation. Predictably, Joshua and Carlisle quickly warm up to each other, while Nick and Amelia are left to their own devices. Nick puts the time to good use, and his flirtation with Amelia blooms into romance. Though not long after the affair turns intimate, Nick begins to suspect that Amelia's interest in him may have sinister and possibly even ancient motivations. So his brother's wife and him start an affair while his brother and his father are becoming close on the father's deathbed. Punctuated by scenes from Nick's adolescent years when memories of a queer awakening and a shadowy presence stalking the farm altered the trajectory of his life forever, Sacrificed Animals explores the violent legacy of inherited trauma and the total collapse of a family in its wake. I recently read Nowhere from Allison Gunn, and this is giving those vibes where there is kind of like this ancient mythological creature / space happening in the woods, and in the end, like, sacrificial animals, that's all I'm gonna say. Okay, so I got these two books. This is Spinning Silver and Uprooted from Naomi Novik. I read this book, I got it from the library earlier this year, loved it. The writing is amazing. Oh my god, the mythology behind this, the fantasy behind this, the characters, and just the way that it was written, I have something in my eye, was just absolutely gorgeous. I fell in love with Naomi Novik's writing, and so I knew that I had to get Uprooted. I think this might be a Beauty and the Beast retelling. Maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. Agnieszka loves her valley home in a quiet village, but the corrupted wood stands on the border, full of malevolent power, and its shadow lies over her life. Her people rely on the cold-driven wizard, only known as the Dragon, to keep the wood's dark forces at bay, but he demands a terrible price for his assistance. Every 10 years, one young woman must be handed over to serve him without question. The next choosing is fast approaching. Agnieszka knows, everyone knows, that the dragon will take Kasia. Beautiful, graceful, brave Kasia. All the things Agnieszka isn't, and her dearest friend in the world. There is no way to save her. But when the dragon comes, it is not Kasia he will choose. It sounds pretty cool. I don't know. I love the cover. I love the way that her stories look, like just super fantastical, super fairy tale-esque. And this was 5 stars. This was a 5-star book for me. This is about a woman who is going after what she and her family are owed. Okay, her father is kind of a giver, like he loans a lot of money out, but then he's not good about coming to collect his money with interest. Their family's about to die. Like, they are in poverty because they have no more money because their father's literally loaned it all away. So the daughter decides to take over the business, get what she and her family are owed, plus interest. She's very kind to the people that she goes after for the money that's owed to them, but she's very serious about it. Like, this is her job and her livelihood. She ends up boasting about how she can spin silver, how she can spin gold. When an ill-advised boast draws the attention of the king of the stark, grim fey creatures who seem more ice than flesh, Miriam's fate and that of 2 kingdoms will be forever altered. There are a lot of characters in this. It's dual POV, but it's like the way that it's written, you are not entirely sure where you're starting. It's kind of like you're starting in the middle of a sentence, which with each chapter here, and you just have to keep reading to figure out whose POV you're currently in, and then once you get it, you're like, okay, let's go, let's keep the story moving. And I just really liked that writing style. It was really unique and fresh, and it looks like this was her first book, or like the book that came out before this one at least. So yeah, I'm excited to get into it. I think her writing is really fun, really fantasy, really good fantastical. So next I got Loath to Love You by Ali Hazelwood. I am on a mission to collect every single Ali Hazelwood book because I love her so much. She's like the only romance reader besides maybe Nikki Sloan. I would definitely say Nikki Sloan is my go-to for like erotica, but Ali Hazelwood is my go-to for romance. I adore everything that she's ever wrote, and this is 3 novellas that she put together into one book. There's Under One Roof, Stuck With You, and Below Zero. So yeah, I had to add it to the collection. It was one that I was missing. Okay, we have 2 books left. I got The Fairy Morgana. This is an Arthian retelling about Lady Morgana. Shapeshifter, sorceress, healer, the Fairy Morgana reintroduces Morgan Le Fay, famed villainess of the Arthurian legend, as you've never seen her before. To the Guardians of the Great Sword, Morgana is haughty and arrogant as she deploys magic far more powerful than any human should be capable of. Rumors spread that she must be a fearsome fae. To Guinevere, wife of King Arthur, Morgana's position as the king's most trusted advisor makes her a rival. She insists Morgana is a malevolent witch. But to Brave, Morgana's faithful acolyte, she is simply the most powerful priestess Camelot has ever seen. Morgana is unconcerned with these opinions. She has devoted her life to serving the king and the people of Camelot. But when she aids Arthur in ascending the throne before his time, she sets off a series of events that will change both the future of Camelot and everything Morgana believes about her power. So it's a King Arthur retelling and about Lady Morgana. I don't know a lot about King Arthur. Like, I would really do myself a service in reading the source material because I really got into, now I'm gonna totally forget what it's called. The 3rd book is Oathbound, the 2nd book is Bloodmarked, the 1st book is Legendborn, the Legendborn cycle, yes. Such a great series, a really fresh King Arthur retelling where like the descendants of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table are now here on Earth. They are tasked with keeping the Earth safe from these creatures and these monsters. There's so much more to the story. Like, I'm not even doing it justice at all. This is such a fun and good series. Really well read, like 5-star books all around. And I feel like I'm almost missing information because I don't know the Legend of King Arthur super well. And then I'm getting into books like this, The Fairy Morgana. And when I was a kid, I watched the show Merlin, and that is truly the extent of my knowledge. So anything that I learned from the show Merlin, which probably was pretty accurate, I would assume, that's the extent of my knowledge. So I need to actually do some research into King Arthur and the legend and the Knights of the Round Table and all that jazz before I get into more retellings and before I read Oathbound as well, because I just would probably do myself a better service of being more knowledgeable about King Arthur. Anyway, okay, the next and final book I got here is Immortal Dark by Tigist Grima. That's a cool name. This is the monthly pick at Barnes & Noble, and it sounds really good. A lost heiress, a soulless vampire, a secret drenched in blood. I forgot it was a vampire novel. I'm excited. Orphaned heiress Caidan Adain grew up from... Orphaned heiress Caidan Adain grew up far from the arcane society of vampires she was born into, where human bloodlines gain power through vampire companionship. When her sister June disappears, Caidan, I don't know if that's how you say it, Caidan, K-I-D-A-N, Caidan, is convinced a vampire stole her, the very vampire bound to their family, the cruel yet captivating Simio Saigad. To find June, Caidan must infiltrate the elite Uxley University. I love when we go to school. I love when we infiltrate the university. I love when we get into a university. I love school books, okay? Academia, dark academia, it's just so up my alley. Where she must survive living with Seanos, even as he does everything he can to drive her away. It doesn't matter that Seanos' wickedness tempts Caidan to surrender her to a life of darkness. She must find her sister and will kill Seanos at all cost. When a murder mirroring June's disappearance shakes Uxley, the university, Caidan sinks further into the ruthless underworld of vampires. There she discovers a centuries-old threat, and June could be at the center of it. To save her sister, Caidan must bring Uxley to its knees and either break free from the horrors of her own actions or embrace the dark entanglements of love and the blood it requires. Amazing, so fun. Oh my god, that was so many good books, so many good books. Let me pick them all up for you. I have this all balanced on one thigh bone right now. Okay, you guys ready? That's so many books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 books for my wonderful birthday haul. It was a great birthday. Thank you so much to anyone who messaged me. You guys are super great and super kind, and I really appreciate it. That was the book haul. That was it. Have you read any of these? If you have, let me know if you like them. If you want to read any of these, let me know. Let me know what your thoughts are. This is really heavy. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate your support, especially if you are a returning subscriber or a returning viewer clicking on another video of mine. Thank you so much for the support. You are amazing, and I really do endlessly love your support. If this is your first time watching a video from me, consider subscribing so you don't miss any book or movie content that I make in the future. Give this video a like if you liked it. All my social medias are in the description box below, so feel free to follow me on there. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!